The stars hung like distant lanterns against the black canvas of space. The U.S. Defender drifted silently through the emptiness, its engines humming with quiet efficiency. Captain John Russell sat in his command chair, watching the main view screen with tired but alert eyes. "Any updates on those energy readings, Lisa?" he asked, turning to his science officer. Lisa Martinez shook her head, her dark hair catching the soft blue light of her console. "Still unclear, Captain. The nebula is interfering with our sensors. Whatever's in there isn't natural." The nebula stretched before them, a swirling mass of purple and blue gases that sparkled with unknown energy. The Defender had been mapping this region for 3 weeks now, far beyond the normal routes of human space travel. "I don't like it," said Frank Williams, the security chief. His broad shoulders tensed as he studied the tactical display. "We're too exposed out here." Russell nodded. Frank's instincts had saved them before. "Engineer Kelly, status report." Samantha Kelly's voice came through the comm system from the engine room. "All systems functioning normally, Captain, but I'm picking up some strange power fluctuations. The new shield system is acting up again." "Dr. Wright, any thoughts?" Russell asked the medical officer who stood quietly at the back of the bridge. Daniel Wright stepped forward, his gentle features thoughtful. "The nebula contains elements we haven't encountered before. Perhaps they're affecting our systems." Russell was about to respond when the ship suddenly rocked violently. Warning alarms blared across the bridge. "We're under attack," Frank shouted, his hands flying across his console. 3 vessels emerging from the nebula. The view screen showed 3 massive ships appearing from within the gas cloud. They were unlike anything the crew had seen before. Sleek, with sharp angles and glowing purple energy pulsing along their hulls. "Shields up. Evasive maneuvers," Russell ordered, gripping his armrests as another blast hit the Defender. "They didn't even try to communicate," Lisa said, her voice a mix of shock and anger. "Who are they?" The answer came moments later as a transmission cut through their communications. A tall, gray-skinned alien appeared on screen. Its face was elongated with 4 yellow eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. When it spoke, its thin lips barely moved. "Primitive vessel, you have entered territory claimed by the Haelor Empire. Your existence is forfeit." The transmission cut off before Russell could respond. Another barrage of energy weapons struck the Defender, sending sparks flying from several consoles. "Shields at 60%. Samantha reported from engineering. "Captain, they're using some kind of energy weapon I've never seen before." Russell's mind raced. They were outgunned, facing an unknown enemy. "Lisa, find us a hiding spot in that nebula." "Frank, return fire, just enough to slow them down." The Defender's weapons seemed to barely scratch the alien vessels, but it gave them the seconds they needed. The ship turned sharply and accelerated toward the thickest part of the nebula. The nebula's composition should interfere with their targeting systems, Lisa explained as the ship plunged into the colorful gases. For now, they were hidden, but the damage was done. Smoke filled parts of the bridge, and injury reports were coming in from all decks. "Options?" Russell asked, looking at his crew. Frank's face was grim. "We run, make it back to human space, and warn Earth." "We might not make it that far," Samantha said over the comm. "The main drive took heavy damage." Daniel looked up from treating a wounded crew member. "These Haelor, whoever they are, they attacked without provocation. If we run, how many other worlds will they target next?" Russell stood slowly, looking at each of his crew members. "We're not running," he said firmly. "The Defender may look like a simple exploration vessel, but we're much more than that." He walked to the center of the bridge. "And I think it's time we showed the Haelor Empire exactly what happens when you pick a fight with the wrong human ship." The swirling gases of the nebula hid the Defender from the Haelor ships, but Captain Russell knew it wouldn't last long. Purple energy beams cut through the colorful clouds as the enemy vessels searched blindly for their prey. "Damage report," Russell ordered, wiping blood from a cut on his forehead. Frank tapped at his console. "Decks 3 through 5 reporting minor injuries. Weapon systems at 60%. Shields recovering slowly. Russell turned to the engineering communication link. Samantha, what's our real status? There was a pause before Engineer Kelly responded. I think it's time to tell them, Captain. Russell nodded. All senior officers to the auxiliary control room. Now. 5 minutes later, Russell stood before his confused officers in a small room hidden behind the main engine compartment. He pressed his palm against a scanner, and the wall behind him slid open to reveal a second, more advanced control center. What is this? Lisa asked, her eyes wide as she took in the cutting-edge technology that hummed around them. The truth, Russell said simply. The Defender isn't just an exploration vessel. It's a prototype test platform for our most advanced military technology. Samantha stepped forward. The military didn't want to risk their expensive warships testing experimental systems, so they disguised them in what looks like a standard science vessel. And us? Frank asked. Were we chosen randomly? Russell shook his head. Most of the crew believes we're on a simple mapping mission, but each of you was selected because of your special skills. Daniel looked at the medical equipment along one wall, running his fingers over instruments he had never seen before. This goes beyond standard military tech. Correct, Samantha said, walking to a central console. This ship has systems that even our admirals don't fully understand. We've got adaptive AI integration that can modify our weapons on the fly to counter enemy defenses. And this. She pressed a sequence of buttons, and a holographic display appeared, showing what looked like a nervous system throughout the ship. This is the neural link system. What does it do? Lisa asked. It lets us connect directly to the ship, Daniel answered, surprising everyone. I recognize the technology from experimental medical papers. It creates a direct interface between human minds and machine systems. Russell nodded. Daniel was included because he understands the medical aspects of the neural links. Frank whistled low. So we can actually merge with the ship's systems. Fight as one unit. That's the theory, Samantha said. It's never been tested in actual combat. Lisa had moved to another console, rapidly analyzing the data from the earlier attack. The Haelor ships have a fluctuating shield pattern. There's a 1.3-second window where their port shield generators reset. She looked up with a smile. I can target that weakness. Russell looked at his crew. We're outgunned by conventional standards, but we have technology the Haelor have never encountered. Frank, your security team isn't just standard personnel. They're special operations troops placed here for this exact scenario. Frank grinned. I wondered why my science vessel security team was so comfortable with military-grade weapons. So what's the plan, Captain? Daniel asked. Russell moved to the center of the room. We're going to connect to the neural link system. We'll merge our minds with the Defender's eye. Then we're going to come out of hiding and hit the Haelor ships where they're weakest. And then? Lisa asked. Russell's eyes hardened. And then we show them exactly how dangerous it is to attack a human vessel, even one that looks harmless. He turned to Samantha. Prepare the neural links. It's time to wake up this ship's real capabilities. The crew exchanged determined glances. The true battle was about to begin. The neural link helmets fit snugly around each crew member's head. Captain Russell felt a cold sensation as the system activated. Then a rush of information flooded his mind. He could suddenly feel the ship, every system, every damage report, every power fluctuation, as if it were part of his own body. This is incredible, Lisa whispered, her eyes closed as she processed the sensor data now flowing directly into her consciousness. Frank was already adapting to the weapon systems, his thoughts directing targeting computers faster than his hands ever could. I can feel the Haelor ships through the nebula. Their positions, movements, everything. Samantha monitored everyone's vital signs as they connected. Neural links stable. The AI is integrating with our thought patterns, ship systems responding at 200% efficiency. Daniel had connected to the ship's medical systems, monitoring the crew's health during the neural connection. Heart rates elevated but within safe parameters. Brain activity is synchronized with the ship's eye. Russell opened his eyes, which now glowed with a faint blue light, the same color as the ship's energy signature. Prepare to move out. Reconfigure our shield frequencies. Change our energy signature. Through their mental connection, the crew executed his orders instantly. The Defender systems began to shift and adapt. Outside, the hull seemed to shimmer as its energy patterns rearrange. The Haelor are still searching in the wrong section of the nebula, Lisa reported through the neural link. Their scanners won't recognize us with our new configuration. Russell smiled. Then let's give them a surprise. Engines to full power. Weapons ready. Target the lead vessel's port shield generator during the reset window. The Defender burst from the nebula like a predator from hiding. Its appearance had changed. The energy signature now pulsed with an aggressive red glow instead of the previous blue. The ship moved with impossible agility, as if it knew what the Haelor vessels would do before they did it. On the lead Haelor ship, Admiral Vexor stared in disbelief. Impossible. Our scanners show a completely different vessel. Where is the primitive ship we attacked? His tactical officer's four eyes blinked in confusion. Sir, energy readings suggest it's the same vessel, but changed somehow. Destroy it, Vexor commanded. The Haelor ships fired their purple energy beams, but the Defender twisted and turned, avoiding most of the blasts. Those that did hit seemed to wash over the shields without effect. Through the neural link, Russell directed the ship like it was his own body, feeling each hit like a touch on his skin rather than a damaging blow. Frank's thoughts guided the weapons, waiting for the precise moment Lisa had identified. Port shield reset in 3, 2, 1. Lisa counted through their shared consciousness. Frank fired. The Defender's weapons struck the exact spot where the shield briefly failed during its reset cycle. The beam penetrated deep into the Haelor vessel, precisely targeting its propulsion systems. The massive alien ship lurched to one side, power fluctuating across its hull. Its weapons went offline, and its engines sputtered and died. One down, Russell thought to his crew. Disable, don't destroy. We need prisoners for information. The remaining Haelor ships moved to protect their damaged companion. Admiral Vexor pounded his control panel in rage. How is this possible? One human vessel cannot defeat Haelor technology. Call for reinforcements. His communications officer began transmitting a distress signal, unaware that Lisa had already tapped into their communication frequency through the neural link. They're calling for backup, she informed the crew. A battle fleet led by something called the Immortal Dominion. Russell absorbed this information instantly. Good. Let them come. Each transmission gives us more data on their language, technology, and tactics. The Defender circled the crippled Haelor vessel like a shark, weapons charged and ready to target the second ship. Admiral Vexor, Russell transmitted to the Haelor vessels. This is Captain John Russell of the U.S. Defender. You attacked without provocation. You threatened our existence. Now you will learn what happens when you underestimate humanity. The second Haelor ship fired desperately, but the Defender was already moving, its human crew and AI now functioning as one perfectly coordinated organism. The real battle had only just begun. The Haelor battle fleet arrived 3 hours later. 7 massive warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, surrounding the disabled vessel and its companion. At their center loomed the Immortal Dominion, a dreadnought 3 times the size of the other ships, its hull covered in weapon ports that glowed with purple energy. That's big, Frank thought through the neural link as the crew of the Defender observed from the cover of a nearby asteroid field. Size isn't everything, Samantha replied, her consciousness already analyzing the dreadnought's power readings. Its energy systems are inefficient. All that firepower generates enormous heat. They're compensating with massive cooling systems. Russell felt the presence of his crew in his mind, their thoughts merging with his and the ship's eye. The neural link had grown stronger over the past hours, letting them process information and react faster than any normal human crew could. "Lisa, what do you have for us?" Russell asked. Through their shared consciousness, Lisa painted a complete tactical picture. The fleet uses the same shield technology as the first ships, just scaled up. Same weakness, but they're keeping their shields at full power with constant modulation. No clear reset window now. "We need a different approach," Russell thought. "We can't take on all of them directly." Daniel's thoughts entered their shared awareness. "Captain, while monitoring the crew's neural patterns, I noticed something strange about the Haelor communication signals we intercepted. They operate on frequencies that seem to affect their nervous systems. I believe they use sound as part of their command structure." "Psychological warfare?" Frank asked. "More than that," Daniel explained. "Their physiology is different from ours. Certain sound frequencies might physically affect them. Like high-pitched noises hurt human ears, but much more severe." Russell considered this. "Can we use their own communication frequencies against them? If we modify our communication arrays, we could broadcast disruptive frequencies during an attack," Lisa suggested. "Let's move," Russell decided. "We'll use hit-and-run tactics. Target one ship at a time, broadcast the disruptive frequencies, then retreat back to cover." The Defender slipped out from behind the asteroids, its engines silent, coasting on momentum alone. The ship's adaptive camouflage, another experimental system, made it nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. Lisa targeted the communications array of the smallest Haelor vessel. Through Frank's weapons control, they fired a precise beam that connected with the alien ship's antenna. Immediately, Daniel broadcast the disruptive frequency pattern through the Haelor's own communication system. The effect was immediate. The Haelor ship's movements became erratic. Through intercepted communications, they could hear the crew's distress. "What is happening?" Admiral Vexor demanded from the Immortal Dominion. "Restore control immediately." "The humans, the sound, it burns," came the pained reply before the communication cut off. The Defender struck again, disabling the confused ship's weapons, then vanished back into the asteroid field before the other vessels could target them. It worked. Samantha's excitement flowed through the neural link. "Their crew is incapacitated." "One down, 6 to go," Frank thought with grim satisfaction. But Admiral Vexor was not a fool. "All ships, switch communication frequencies immediately. Deploy seeker drones into the asteroid field. Find that human vessel." Hundreds of small drones launched from the Haelor ships, spreading through the asteroid field like hunting insects. "They're adapting," Lisa warned. "The drones will find us eventually." Russell remained calm, his thoughts steady in their shared mental space. "Then we need to adapt faster. Samantha, can we capture one of those drones?" "Tractor beam could grab one if it gets close enough," she confirmed. "Do it. I want to know everything about how they work, and prepare a boarding party. We're going to capture that disabled ship and take prisoners." Frank's thoughts sharpened with focus. "My security team is ready." Russell felt their determination through the neural link. 5 minds working as one. The ship's eye amplifying their abilities. "The Haelor think they're hunting us," Russell thought to his crew. "They don't realize they've become the prey." The boarding of the disabled Haelor ship went more smoothly than expected. Frank led a team of 6 security personnel, all connected through lightweight portable neural links, to share information instantly. The Haelor crew, still suffering from the effects of the disruptive frequencies, offered little resistance. Back on the Defender, Russell watched through Frank's neural feed as they secured the alien vessel's bridge. "We've captured their commander," Frank reported, standing over a tall Haelor officer who glared up with all 4 eyes, bringing him back for questioning. Meanwhile, Lisa had successfully captured one of the seeker drones with the tractor beam. Samantha was already taking it apart in the engineering lab, her mind processing its technology through the neural link. "Fascinating design," she thought to the others. "Their tech is advanced but inflexible. It's designed to follow specific patterns. No adaptability. On the bridge, Russell received an urgent communication from Earth. He opened a private channel, temporarily isolating his thoughts from the shared neural space. "Captain Russell," said Admiral Carter from Earth Command, "your data transmissions about the Haelor are deeply concerning. Our analysts believe they've been systematically conquering less advanced species throughout that sector. Your ship may be all that stands between them and several vulnerable colonies." Russell's face hardened. "Understood, Admiral. How soon can reinforcements arrive?" "The nearest battle group is 3 weeks out. You need to buy us time, Russell. Keep them busy. Show them we're not easy prey." "Yes, sir," Russell replied before closing the channel and rejoining the neural link. He found his crew's thoughts in turmoil. While he'd been speaking with Earth Command, Daniel had been examining the captured Haelor officer. "Captain," Daniel's thoughts came urgently. "The Haelor are planning something terrible. I found these plans in their medical database." He shared mental images of biological weapons designed specifically to target human physiology. "They were planning to release these agents against Earth," Lisa added, her horror evident through the link. "They've been studying humans for months." At that moment, they intercepted a transmission from Admiral Vexor to his fleet. Through their neural link, the AI translated instantly. "The human vessel continues to elude us. Prepare biological package Theta-9 for deployment. If we cannot destroy this ship conventionally, we will eliminate its crew from within." "He's planning to use biological weapons against us." Frank's anger flowed through the neural network as he returned to the Defender with the captured Haelor commander. Russell remained calm, his thoughts anchoring the others. "Samantha, can our shields be modified to neutralize biological agents?" "The experimental filtration system was designed for exactly this scenario," she confirmed. "I can reconfigure it, but it will take time." Russell made his decision. "Lisa, broadcast everything we've learned about the Haelor back to Earth. Their attacks, their conquest of other species, these biological weapons, everything. Including their plans to eventually attack Earth." Lisa asked. "Especially that," Russell confirmed. "Earth needs to know what we're facing." While Lisa prepared the data transmission, Russell turned his attention to the captured Haelor commander who had been brought to the brig. Through the ship's internal systems, Russell spoke to the alien. "Your admiral made a serious mistake attacking us," Russell said. "We were a peaceful exploration vessel." The Haelor commander's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "You are primitive prey species. Haelor Empire conquers. It is the natural order." "You should have studied us more carefully," Russell replied. "Humans don't respond well to threats." The alien made a sound like grinding stones, apparently a laugh. "One vessel cannot stand against the Empire. Admiral Vexor commands 50 worlds. Millions of warriors." As if on cue, Lisa's voice came through the neural link. "Captain, I'm detecting new signals. 3 more species are reaching out to us through encrypted channels. They say they've been monitoring our battle with the Haelor." Russell smiled slightly. "It seems your empire isn't as beloved as you think. Your conquered worlds are watching us fight back, and they're taking notes." The Haelor commander's yellow eyes widened in what Russell recognized as fear. "This is just the beginning," Russell said, turning away. "1 human ship was enough to disable 3 of yours. Imagine what our fleet will do." The 3 alien species who contacted the Defender were cautious at first. Their representatives appeared on the view screen one by one, each unique but sharing the same look of desperate hope. "I am Kelnar of the Trilari," said the first, a slender being with blue-tinted skin and large oval eyes. "We have served the Haelor for 2 generations. They control our planet with orbital weapons." "I speak for the Voskian Collective," said the second, a stocky creature covered in short fur with 4 arms. "The Haelor take our children to work in their mines." "The Neph have resisted for many cycles," said the third, its body mostly hidden beneath flowing robes, only glowing eyes visible. "But we are few now. The Haelor weapons are too strong." Russell sat in his command chair, still connected to the neural link, but focusing on the diplomatic channel. We're just one ship, far from our home. Why risk contacting us? Kellner's large eyes blinked slowly. Because you fight. Because you win. No one defeats Haelor ships, until now. We can help each other, Russell suggested. Share information. Coordinate efforts. Through the neural link, Lisa transmitted security protocols to protect their communications. Frank assessed the military potential of each species based on the visual data. Daniel studied their physiologies, noting similarities and differences that might be medically important. The Haelor use mind control technology on my people, Kellner explained. A device implanted at birth. My medical team might be able to neutralize that, Daniel said, leaning forward with interest. The Voskian representative showed them schematics of outdated ships. We have vessels, but their technology is far superior. I can help upgrade your systems, Samantha offered. The Neth's glowing eyes seemed to brighten. You would share human technology. Russell nodded. Against a common enemy. Yes, we can use the Defender as a mobile command center to coordinate our efforts. As they spoke, Admiral Vexor launched another attack on the asteroid field where he believed the Defender was hiding. But the human ship was now several thousand kilometers away, meeting secretly with a small Trilleri vessel. Admiral Vexor's leadership is being questioned by the Haelor High Command, the Trilleri informed them. Your continued survival damages his standing. Russell smiled. Good. A desperate enemy makes mistakes. Over the next 2 days, they developed their alliance. Daniel worked with Trilleri medics to develop a countermeasure for the Haelor mind control implants. Samantha shared human shield technology with Voskian engineers. Frank trained a group of Neph fighters in combat tactics. Through it all, the Defender continued its hit-and-run attacks on the Haelor fleet, appearing suddenly, striking precisely, and vanishing before they could respond effectively. We've disabled 2 more of their ships, Frank reported, his thoughts flowing through the neural link with satisfaction. The survivors are spreading stories about the human vessel that can't be destroyed. The Haelor don't understand what they're facing, Lisa added. Their tactics are based on overwhelming force against weaker opponents. They've never adapted to an enemy that fights back effectively. Russell watched as the ship's AI compiled data from all their engagements, constantly improving their tactical options. The Defender was designed to learn from every battle, he explained to their new allies. Each attack makes us stronger. Admiral Vexor's latest transmission to his fleet revealed his growing frustration. Find that human ship. The High Command questions my competence. I will not be defeated by primitive beings. Russell turned to the alien representatives. It's time for the next phase. We've shown we can hurt them. Now let's show them they've lost control of this sector. The alien leaders nodded in agreement. The Trilleri orbital facility has minimal guards, Kellner said. If the mind control devices are neutralized, our people will rise up. The Voskian mining colonies have hidden weapons, the furry representative added. We just need the signal. The Neph leader's eyes glowed brighter. My fighters are ready to strike their fuel depots. Russell felt a surge of pride, both for his crew and their new allies. Then let's begin. One ship made the Haelor Empire vulnerable. Together, we'll make them regret ever firing on a human vessel. 3 weeks after the first Haelor attack, a fleet of 20 human warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the sector. Captain Russell stood on the bridge of the Defender, watching as Earth's military might arrived. Captain Russell called the fleet commander over the secure channel. Looks like you've been busy. Russell smiled. Just making friends, Commander, and showing the Haelor Empire why attacking humans is a bad idea. The human fleet's arrival coincided with coordinated uprisings across the sector. On the Trilleri homeworld, millions of citizens, freed from mind-controlled implants, thanks to Daniel's medical breakthrough, overwhelmed their Haelor overseers. The Voskian mining colonies, their ships upgraded with Samantha's shield technology, destroyed the orbital weapons platforms that had kept them in line for generations. Neph fighters, trained by Frank, sabotaged Haelor fuel depots and communication relays. Admiral Vexor watched in disbelief as reports of rebellion flooded in from all directions. Impossible. How can one human ship cause all this? His second-in-command spoke carefully. Sir, the High Command is concerned. They suggest offering terms to the humans. Terms? Surrender. To primitives. Vexor slammed his fist on the console. Prepare the immortal dominion for direct combat. I will destroy the human vessel myself. Meanwhile, on the Defender, Russell and his crew prepared for their final confrontation. The Neuralink had evolved beyond its original design, allowing the crew to function with perfect unity. The ship itself had been modified with technology from all 4 allied species, creating systems the Haelor had never encountered. Admiral Vexor is moving the immortal dominion toward us, Lisa reported through the Neuralink. The rest of his fleet is in disarray. He's desperate. Frank's thoughts came clearly. He wants to salvage his pride. Russell nodded. Then let's end this properly. All systems to combat readiness. We'll face him directly. The Defender moved to meet the massive Haelor dreadnought. Though dwarfed by the alien vessel, the human ship moved with precision and purpose. Defender, Admiral Vexor's voice came through their communication system. You have caused enough trouble. Surrender now, and your crew may live as slaves. Russell's reply was calm. Admiral Vexor of the Haelor Empire, you fired on a peaceful vessel. You threatened our existence. You plan to use biological weapons against us. There will be no surrender today. The Immortal Dominion fired first, unleashing a barrage of energy weapons that would have destroyed any normal vessel. But the Defender's shields, now enhanced with technologies from 4 different species, held firm. Through the Neuralink, the crew worked as one. Lisa identified weak points in the dreadnought's structure. Frank targeted those points with unerring accuracy. Samantha channeled power through systems that had been redesigned and improved over the weeks of combat. The Defender danced around the lumbering dreadnought, each shot finding its mark, each maneuver anticipating the enemy's response. The human ship seemed to know what the Haelor vessel would do before it happened. After 30 minutes of intense combat, the Immortal Dominion's main power failed. Its weapons went dark. Its shields collapsed. Admiral Vexor, Russell transmitted. Your ship is disabled. Your empire is in revolt. The human fleet has arrived. Do you still believe we are a primitive prey species? There was a long silence before Vexor replied, his voice heavy with defeat. The Haelor High Command wishes to discuss terms. 3 days later, representatives from Earth, the Trilari, the Voskian Collective, and the Neph met with the Haelor High Command aboard a neutral station. Russell attended as Earth's representative. We do not seek to destroy the Haelor, Russell told them, but the days of your empire are over. All species in this sector will have equal standing. As Russell looked around the table at the former enemies and new allies, he thought about how one unprovoked attack had changed everything. The Haelor had attacked a seemingly ordinary human exploration vessel, never imagining it would lead to the fall of their empire. 1 month later, Russell stood on the Defender's bridge as they prepared to head home. The ship had become famous throughout the sector, a symbol of resistance and cooperation. Ready to go home, Captain? Lisa asked. Russell looked out at the stars. Soon. But first, I think there are more friends to make out here. The Haelor weren't the only empire that needed to learn about humanity. The Defender turned and moved toward unexplored space, its legacy already secured in the stars behind it.